Hello, YouTube. Right, I've just managed to watch the Star Trek Discovery trailer. Quite interesting, really. So, well, we're like 1,000 years or whatever in the future. Uh, Burnham sort of lands on a planet. She's like screaming out if anybody survived. It seems that the Discovery has like crash landed or landed on this planet because we see it on the planet. Obviously, they get it back into space because we see later clips it is in space. So the future, it looks like it's knackered. So the entire future's screwed. Something called the burn, where some guy says the Federated turn left. I think that's going to get some political activists going in it. Turn left. Sorry. So the Federation obviously did something in the past. Something called the burns happened, wiped out most of the galaxy, it seems. And Discovery's in the future. A lot of explosions running about. I think there's a romance for Burnham, it's looking like, with the new character. Nice to see Michelle Yeoh in there kicking ass as well as the Empress. And so they're all in there. So I assume Saru's the captain of the ship. Love Saru. And so where's it all going to go? Well, I assume it reminds you. Do you remember Andromeda, the Systems Commonwealth, where he like came back into the future? We're all devastated. Is it going to be like so? Is Discovery going to be going along that line, restoring the Federation? Because like that guy says to him, he said, we always believed in the Federation and that it was out there somewhere, and like they're turning up, they're going to become this big beacon of hope for these devastated civilizations and. To restart the future, I suppose, and deal with whatever did this burn. Now, everything I assume will be speculation for the next series. So we did get a lot, but we didn't get a lot of answers either. So, like I said, it's like obviously they're on this planet. I reckon she's probably separated till end of first or second episode, where she reunites with the crew. They find survivors somewhere and find out what's happened over the last how many centuries about this burn. So now I did wonder, is this connected to Picard in any way because of them that synthetic life form in that other galaxy? Because I did have a theory with last series of that AI intelligence. Is all this connected? And maybe they came and wiped everything out. It could be the Borg. I mean, I don't know. But something on galactic proportions has happened, and the Discovery is going to be the savior of the future. So the good thing is now we're not tied to canon. Now they can do what they want. And I have a feeling about this series that the third season of Discovery might just make it and become that defining series where Discovery finally finds its legs and starts moving into a proper Star Trek direction. Look, I know, like, people love Voyager, and Deep Space Nine is the greatest Star Trek ever for me. But, I'm stuck with Discovery. It's had its ups and downs, and sometimes it is a bit chaotic. But, it's Star Trek at the end of the day, and things have to move on. I suppose for each generation, Star Trek's different. Some people, this will become their Star Trek. Like mine with Kirk and all that in the beginning. And each generation, like Doctor Who, you have your defining moment. And, I'm hoping that the third season of Discovery will become the defining thing for this series. It finally gives it some legs to stand on fully and take us in this whole new direction. But I was quite impressed with the trailer. I am pretty stoked and excited about it. I did try downloading the trailer actually to upload, but it wasn't having it. So, and I couldn't find the trailer on YouTube. I kept getting panels of other people, so I think people were taking it from Facebook. That's where I saw the trailer. And I don't know what was going on, just couldn't seem to, get a copy. So I've had to use an older one in the background. But yeah, I'm quite excited. There seems a lot going on. I think there's a romance for Burnham, it's looking like, isn't it? with the new fella, you know. The Empress kicking ass. I mean, there was a lot going on. Stamets, one of my favourite characters. Saru as the captain, I think he's going to work perfectly for this. So, where does it go? What is the future like? And obviously, is it going to be like full of warlords on other planets, survivors? You know, because really, if the Discovery had gone, you know, where's the Temporal Time Agency and the Temporal Accords, and has all that been wiped out? I mean, have they just totally gone and kibossed the timeline by going into the future? Do they get back to the 23rd century, or does Discovery rebuild the new Federation? Then, if that happens, that in the Star Trek continuation, that in the history of Trek, that's going to mean that the Federation is going to get wiped out at some point. How did the Klingons fare? The Romulans? Well, we know about the Romulans, but obviously, somewhere in the timeline, something big on galactic scale has happened. You know, so it should be quite interesting where this is going to go. So, I mean, all I can do is come out with speculation and talk about what we saw in the trailer. And I think I've covered it. I mean, obviously, we've got the first idea. They're on the planet. The ships come down, fix it, get back into space, meet some survivors, people with different agendas, and then we'll start building to this thing that wipes out everybody or cause this galactic disaster or war or whatever. But yes, so when did this happen? What year? What century? Where, you know, was it after Picard's time? All this, it seems to have been a big event. What did the Federation do wrong for it to let this happen? So it's going to be interesting, and unless they're going to the future to change the timeline and to restore it, I mean, we don't know. So that's it. So that's my thoughts on the Star Trek Discovery trailer review. You know, I mean, I don't think there's much more I can say about it. I mean, I can talk about the podcast tomorrow when that goes up. You know, so obviously with my co-cloud, when we do the podcast tomorrow, well, between us both, we might be able to work something out, you know, what's going on. But yeah, not a bad trailer, so I'm quite excited. Roll on season 3 and roll on October 15th. Guys, live long and prosper, you know, and stay safe. And I will see you on the next video.